ULTI.TV.
Welcome back to ULTI.TV's coverage of Not University Mixed Nationals 2021, brought to you in collaboration with Hive Ultimate, here from a slightly overcast Birmingham, sun poking through the clouds every now and then. My name's Luke Burgess, and I am joined in front of the commentary desk because we've been sat down for far too long by Gigi Morrison for this semi-final matchup between Sheffield in yellow versus TSU, Team Surrey Ultimate in blue. As we wait for the hooter to go to start the game, although the teams might just start anyway. There we are. So what are we expecting from this game, Gigi?
Quite a lot of action. I'm thinking that we're going to see a lot of deep shots, a lot of bids. Both teams have some very good throwers, a lot of intelligence from both sides, and I'm excited to see what they can bring.
But an early offensive mistake from Sheffield will gift Surrey the disc. Surrey planning out of the same horizontal stack that they've been working through all weekend, but that swing to the far side does not find the target. As Sheffield look to set up their end zone offense, the classic vertical stack. And a nice, quick backhand catch and throw into the near corner. So nicely timed cut. Will give Sheffield the first point of the game.
Super fast, clinical, and intense gameplay from Sheffield already. Surrey having made a couple of mistakes from their offense to start off with, but they can hopefully iron out the kinks as they start warming back up into this game.
Ooh, we almost had an offside. Looks like Surrey were not quite ready, and Sheffield wanted to throw the pull anyway. But second attempt is good, and the one of the Surrey players manages to not hit the disc on the way down. Standard match defense from Sheffield. Deep shot from Surrey, floating nicely, and just about towed into the end zone. Good offense from Surrey to get their first point on the board.
Fantastic feat from the Surrey player. Almost didn't catch it, but almost didn't get it in at the same time. So it was good that he managed to get both his feet and his hands ready to catch it. So there is a light breeze, but a couple of gusts still coming out, and that's coming from, well, from the furthest end zone side closest to Surrey towards the camera on this sideline, just for reference.
Shouldn't give the throwers too many problems. But you never know, as Sheffield come down on offense. Nice forehand, reeled in, despite the close coverage from Surrey. Up the line, deep shot now. Looking for the receiver just about in the end zone. And Sheffield also convert cleanly. They saw what Surrey could do, and then they went and did it themselves.
Pretty much that, yeah. They thought, oh, I like the look of that offense. I'm going to utilize that. But no, a fantastic throw from Helen Thompson to Samantha Chu, smog to smog, all the smog love.
So, Surrey on offense once again, looking to convert as cleanly as they did last time. Attacking the disc nicely to keep possession alive for Surrey. Finds the forehand, now this near sideline.
So that was a foul call on the thrower. The Forces retracted it though, because they don't believe it affected the throw, but it looked like the thrower had actually started to pivot through the force, which you're not allowed to do.
So Surrey managed to keep possession. And a huge layout grab into the end zone, but can't quite keep the disc between the hands. And Surrey was so close to converting another clean offensive point. But Sheffield now with a break opportunity. So cuts from the back of the stack. But finds the cut from the front instead. Working down this far sideline. There's the deep shot. But a bit too far. Didn't quite sit up for the receiver to run onto. So Sheffield will have to get another block if they want to convert this break opportunity. So Surrey having to work the full length of the pitch. Deep shot straight away. Does not sit up long enough for the receiver to run onto. Sheffield with another break opportunity. Setting up their vertical stack. Cut from the back. Once again. Finds the receiver in the middle of the pitch. Reset towards the far side. Got two cutters in the same space. As there is some discussion about potentially a pick. So play is back underway. Good defense from Surrey. Putting pressure on every single option. Making Sheffield work. They do find the options down that far side. Looking for a swing now. No immediate continuation. And a foul is called on the mark. There's the shot to the end zone, and Sheffield will convert the break chance and bring the score to 3-1.
Sheffield having to work hard against the Surrey defence. There was a little bit of either a disc space or a wrapping call, which isn't a stoppage, but it may have affected the way that the thrower was able to pivot, causing some sort of foul. But even in that situation, the stall count should have gone down to 0, not staying at 5. It's very difficult to tell what was going on. There weren't any hand signals.
So, Surrey, one breakdown so far in this game. Coming out of their horizontal stack. Sheffield content with still playing match defense. It's been working for them so far this game. They've gotten a turnover on all but one of Surrey's points. And it works for them again, as Surrey unable to put in this point without turning over. Another break chance for Sheffield. And the same cut from the back of the stack is successful once again for Sheffield. Surrey might want to think about doing something a bit more interesting on defense than just marking one-to-one on the same cut, as Sheffield continue to work it around the back. Not a huge amount of movement from the stack. They do find an option. And there's the shot to the end zone. Nice, easy, open side continuation cut. And Sheffield go one more break up, 4-1.
After the turn, Sheffield really wanting to capitalise on a little bit of frustration on Surrey's side. But Sheffield doing really, really well in working through the Surrey defence. It looks like either Surrey or Sheffield have called a timeout. So just during this timeout, we're going to take the time to see well, just to ask you to subscribe if you're watching live on ULTI.TV or Hive Ultimate. Also support ULTI.TV on Patreon, though we've got a lot of projects coming up in the next few weeks and months across Europe in particular. So we've got UKU Nationals coming up next weekend, we've got Basel Open as well. Hopefully XUCF, but that's still a little bit up in the air as to whether ULTI.TV will be covering that and if the COVID restrictions allow it. But also send us some messages on Instagram, on social media, ULTI.TV and Hive ULTI. And one final little shout out to Felix, our camera guy. He's been working really hard today. You'll have seen him a fair few times on Felix Cam.
So let's see what Surrey can do after that timeout call. As they find an option in the middle. Nice power position. There's the shot to the end zone, and that is a beautiful offensive hold. Really nice disc movement. Really well set up power position, and a good deep cut. Good deep throw. They get their second point on the board.
Yeah, as you said, look, that was fantastic. Just really nice and simple, not overcomplicating anything too much. Sorry, working out of a horizontal stack usually. And I think from previous points, it might have gotten a bit too cloggy, especially with Sheffield's defense getting in the way. They're just overcomplicating their cuts, getting in the way of each other, but that was just perfect. Finding their flow, having the correct continuations, and it's come out in their favor, now bringing the score to 4-2.
So floaty pull from Surrey, fielded well by Sheffield. And there's that open side cut from the back of the sack once again. It's been so successful for them this entire weekend. And almost, almost reeled in. I believe there is a foul call as both players are sort of juggling it between each other after the disc popped out of the hands of the intended receiver. So it looks like the turnover will stand, as the players agree that the block was clean. Surrey now with a vertical stack play. Resetting it around the back. Wind is picking up a little bit. And perhaps pushing the disc to the ground on that occasion. Surrey finding themselves on defense. once again. And the exact same back of stack vertical, back of stack cut works once again for Sheffield. Layout point block attempt, but they do find the swing. Handlers working it amongst themselves. Swing into the middle. Patient offense from Sheffield, but that throw is a little bit wide. So sorry, with another opportunity to go 1 point closer to Sheffield, currently leading. Poach in the open lane. But the reset option is not taken. They do eventually find the swing. And to the far side. Back to the middle. Plenty of movement downfield for Surrey. The initial continuation isn't there, but the undercut is successful. Looking for the reset once again. Nice up line cut, not thrown to. Deep shot to the end zone, but way over the heads of any potential receivers. And Surrey once again have to play defense. So Sheffield with the same back of stack cut to start the play. The defense do catch up for Surrey. Get the block on that deep shot. Nice grab on the swing. And Sheffield get a finger to that disc, push it wide. And keep their hopes alive for this point. But immediately throwing it away. Disc sailing over the receivers. And Surrey find themselves an offense once again. Immediate deep shot, but the cutter just started coming under as the disc went up. Oh, nice give and go move from Sheffield into a deep shot. Well received. And Sheffield, a little bit of quick disc movement before settling into their end zone offense. Trying to be patient once again. They've already failed to convert one end zone offense opportunity at this point. Don't want to waste another. There's the high release forehand to the break side. And that is a goal for Sheffield. They pull ahead 5-2.
A big sigh of relief, I think, from both TSU and Sheffield and us in the commentary booth. It is very nice to see that Sheffield were able to stay calm towards the end there to pop in another goal. But so many opportunities from both sides that I think were just a little bit too rushed. Or the option itself wasn't necessarily as well considered and well executed as it could have been. Because we had some fantastic deep shots, but not necessarily the receiver there to actually receive the deep shot.
So Surrey, once again, looking to convert. Nice quick offensive point. Time is a factor in these games. And they are 3 points down, so you need to stay as even as possible with your opponent in this format. And Surrey swing to the far side and continue down the far sideline. Cross pitch blade is successful, finds the receiver in the end zone. Great vision, well executed throw, and Surrey do stick in that offensive point nice and cleanly.
Layup bid attempt to try and stop the score there from Sheffield, but just not quite enough. That was a well-weighted disc into the end zone for the score for Surrey. The Surrey offense a little bit more expansive in terms of using the width of the pitch compared to previous points. Definitely a lot more effective than trying to jam it up the middle of the pitch.
So Sheffield setting up their vertical stack once again. Poached receiver on the far side. Then a nice give and go move. But travel is called. So discus jet back in. So Sheffield looking to advance the disc down this far sideline. Nice immediate pass into the midfield after the reset. Not a huge amount of movement downfield, but the IO forehand break does find a receiver. Upline cut looked off, infield instead. Tight vert stack in the end zone, but a receiver wide open on the far side. And a good break throw to find them. Will get Sheffield 1 point closer to taking off.
Yeah, Sheffield starting to notice that Surrey players are poaching off of the stack, and where they can actually utilize that to their own advantage. They're finding free players in the lane that they should actually just throw to. And thankfully it's worked out to their advantage. They've taken the lead 6-3, so we're 1 point away from half.
So Surrey on offense to try and get a few more points before Sheffield take half. Or ideally to take half themselves, but They need an offensive hold to start as the thrower pivots into the force. He was legally positioned and not moving. And a foul is called. So sorry, fine the reset. And get away with that forehand up line. Lots of movement downfield for Surrey, but a good layout block from Sheffield wins them the disc, and they now have an opportunity to take half, really cementing their lead in this game. Cut from the back of the stack once again, but not thrown to this time. Looking for a reset, finds it. Lasering forehand to the chest of the receiver, maybe a bit too fast. Receiver not expecting such force. Whenever possible, you should aim to put touch in your discs, make it as easy to catch as possible. Lots of spin, lots of float, but not too high. Lasering discs at your teammates does often cause turnovers. Sorry now. On offense. Working the disc through the middle. Sorry, choosing to stay nice and spread out. Just timing their movements. Round backhand break. Just outside the end zone now. Good opportunity for Surrey. Go for the reset. And the continuation swing. No movement in the end zone though. Finds the near side. There's the up line. And there's a Sheffield player on the floor, but didn't affect the play. The point will stand. And Surrey bring the score to 6-4.
Pretty casual offensive flow from Surrey. Thankfully managing to concentrate. I think pretty much every single player on the pitch was used. Maybe bar one. So that's nice to see. Just looking at some of our games coming up. Up next on this pitch, we've got Bath versus Ubu in the 2-3 semi-final. So the winner of this game will go on to the final, and the winner of the next game will also go into the final, because that's how semi-finals work.
Sorry, I'm here. I can't move.
So Sheffield fielding the disc. Setting up their vertical stack. So we have started to switch on a little bit more to the very predictable cuts that Sheffield have been using. And on that occasion, Sheffield weren't able to keep the defenders out of the space. And they do bring it down. So Surrey looking to close the gap. 2 points down currently. Finds a reset on the far side. Goes for the deep shot. Has separation, but it's a very narrow channel to throw into. But they do have a full field to play defense on now. So cut from the back once again from Sheffield. Well pulled down. And again, Sheffield putting the discs up high, but bringing them down anyway. There's a shot to the end zone. And well read by the receiver. Not quite in the end zone though. But one more pop pass will do it. And Sheffield do take half. 7-4.
That offensive play from Sheffield was definitely some practice for next weekend ahead of Club Nationals. Just wanting to get some hops reps in, develop your jumps. Not much of a better opportunity than to do so than with some uni frisbee. So all games except for the final this weekend are 2:13, making half at 7. And so far today, this is the fastest game that a team has gone to half, having done so within 35 minutes. And as these teams take a break, we will also take a little bit of a break. So we'll see you in the second half.
So welcome back to the second half of this semi-final matchup between Surrey and Sheffield here at Not University Mixed Nationals 2021. Brought to you by ULTI.TV in collaboration with Hive Ultimate. Sheffield coming down on defense for the start of the second half. Currently leading 7-4 after a very impressive showing in the first half. Showed some very successful defense against Surrey's offense. But Surrey have looked extremely good at times in this first half, so we'll see if they can show us more of that in the second as a huge hammer goes up to the far sideline. There is a defender under it though, and they do make the block. A hammer in that direction is going to sit up and get turned over more than you expect by the wind. It was a brave look from Surrey. So Sheffield now with an opportunity to pull even further ahead as the exact same back of stack open side undercut that they've been doing the entire game works once again. Surrey really should consider playing any kind of defense on it. But Sheffield unable to continue their offense after the first pass. And Surrey get a short field to work with, opting for their own absolutely standard back of stack cut. They did have a poach in the lane for Sheffield, but no communication from the Sheffield defenders does not cause any problems for Surrey. There's the break side shot to the end zone. Nice conversion from Surrey. They do well to stick that one in and bring the score to 7-5.
A really nice, calm and collected offense from Surrey. I think maybe just going back on the defense against a vertical stack, where Sheffield aren't having any issues with regards to actually getting the cuts off. And I mean, there's multiple ways you can think about defending it. You can either just set up a zone and be like, right, you're not going to set up a vertical stack, I'm just going to try and stop that. You can get a hopefully very effective poach in the lane on the open side so that the first cut just doesn't come off. Or if you are just going to let them have that first cut, at least commit to either forcing them under or forcing them deep. Because we saw in that situation where the back of stack cutter had managed to fake out their defender, the defender was just being person on person really tight, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you've got a team that's got the exact same tactic every time, try and dedicate and commit to one thing. Say, I'm going to push them under and that's all they're going to get. Or I'm going to push them deep, they're not going to get this undercut from the back of stack. And I think actually committing to something is going to be a lot more effective rather than just letting them have that same cut every time.
Yeah, one-to-one match defense is really only effective at taking away one option. And high-level teams in particular do tend to choose to force players under or force players deep and work really hard not to get beaten in the direction that they're choosing. Sheffield once again complete a pass off of a cut from the back of the stack. Chooses not to go for the down the line shot and swing instead. Now forehand into the middle. Down this near side. Has a receiver in the end zone, but good coverage from the mark. Stops the initial shot, and that disc just floats close enough to the sideline to be reeled in. Great offense from Sheffield. Once again, they extend their lead to 8-5.
Brilliant work on watching the feet as well, because it could be quite easy to be watching the disc and not necessarily watching where your feet are going, but the Sheffield receiver managed to keep their eyes on their feet and the disc pretty much simultaneously. Watching the replay there. Sheffield now extending their lead, so starting to get into the last 12 minutes of this game. This is our 6th game of the day. We've got 4 more left on this pitch. So we've got one more semi-final coming up. And then we have the 3v4 game, which would be a bronze medal game if we gave out bronze medals, but welcome to UK Ultimate. Then the 9v10, and then the final will be at 5 PM until 6:30. So it'll be a slightly longer game, but the game cap will be to 15 rather than 13.
So horizontal stack from Surrey. Working it comfortably through the middle at this point. Sheffield seem content to just push the receivers under, but there's one streaking deep. The disc does not sit up in the wind though. And Surrey will be kicking themselves. It was a fantastic opportunity. Really well timed cut into that deep space, but instead they have to play defense. Let's see if they choose to do anything other than strict match on this back of stack cut. There it is. Oh, there is a poach coming off the side now. They've finally woken up and decided to play defense. Let's see if they can convert though. There's the drop, dump, and a bit of a swing infield. Not looking for the reset, but there's a front of stack cut, and the defender on the front not quite switching on in time to that cut. And Surrey do convert their 0 point, 8-6.
That's a lot more intelligent gameplay from Surrey. Again, the microphones probably did pick up Felix's scream of happiness. I think he's hoping that that will serve as a bit of positive reinforcement for the Surrey defense to keep it up, keep it going. We're just getting to watch that run through poach defense again. And the score with a well-weighted disc into the end zone. Score now at 8-6. So Surrey still within tickling distance of actually getting to the finals. But Sheffield do have the advantage here. All Sheffield have to do is stay calm and cool. Be clinical with their disc.
Yeah, this is Sheffield's game to lose at this point. Time is running out. So once again, vertical stack from Sheffield. Choosing to keep the disc on this near side. And great defense from Surrey. Defender gets out in the lane nice and early. Gets to the disc. Was a bit of contact on the catch, but it will be a turnover. And Surrey really need to convert these points nice and quickly now. Blady swing is reeled in, as is the next one. Slightly tough grab, but bit of a foul off the disc there as one of the Surrey cutters runs into the back of the defender. Disc will go back. So disc is checked back in. Surrey do find the reset. Several Surrey players open for the swing, as there is a bit of contact on the mark, it seems. We've got some Sheffield players poaching on the open side and poaching deep. There's a reset and a swing option completely free. Instead goes straight up the line into the path of two defenders. Sheffield comfortably deal with that threat. As the disc is walked back in. Cut from the back of the stack, but not thrown to, as Surrey have started poaching off on that initial look. Back to that far side now. Close defense from Surrey, but Sheffield retain possession. Up the line. Holsters the deep shot. Nice quick give and go. There's the deep shot. And it's reeled in. Beautiful sequence of play right at the end there. Give and go backhand, followed by a pop pass into a power position, sets up the deep cut. And Sheffield punching the goal.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the TSU offense was really looking for in that last point. There were two pretty open receivers across the side of the pitch. And often in that position, when you are the receiver, it feels quite a bit disheartening when you're looked off that often. But Sheffield taking advantage, they recognised the poach in the lane from the TSU defence, managed to work around it and still popped it in for a score, extending their lead, probably making it pretty much near impossible, if not impossible, for TSU to actually bring this back and win the game.
Yeah, it's going to require multiple immediate Callahans at this point. This is one of the nuances with this particular format. Sheffield also have timeouts they can call to run that clock down. So a nice high pull from Sheffield. Hostak set up initially from Surrey, but Sheffield are playing his own, and there's the run through D on the swing. Really well read from Sheffield. So vertical stack once again. Will it be the same play? Yes, it will. There's the cut from the back. Nobody else in the stack was paying any attention to that cut, and it's unfortunate that that didn't come down. Did get a hand to it. So 1-to-1 defense. So the Hostak from Surrey generating lots of options downfield, lots of movement, or at least it was. But they are going to have to look for a reset now. And that disc just bouncing off the intended receiver. A little bit too close. And a timeout call from Sheffield. Smart decision to run down the clock.
So, judging from the last few games that we've watched from Sheffield, they tend to call an end zone play, judging by a letter. I'd imagine it would be S, H, E, and F. By the looks of it, F would be a back of stack cut. So that was probably what they were looking for. S being a look from a handler. H also probably being a look from a handler, and E maybe being an ISO play. It's difficult to tell. Different teams have different plays, but that is quite a commonplace structure for letter plays. I know other teams have different plays for end zones and vertical stacks. Like Ubu have a handler end zone play. Reading Ultimate also have a vertical stack or an end zone play that they just call whenever they feel like they need to have some structure from that and to communicate with each other.
Yeah, York have their, I believe it's a number, is a cut from the back, any number, and then any Pokemon is cut from the front. Yeah, oh, it's not a secret. They did both yesterday, it's on stream, you can hear it on the mic. But that's a play that's existed in York for well over 10 years. So it looks like a vertical stack in the end zone at the back with an isolation at the front. And Surrey are going to surround the stack and double commit to mark in the front as the hooter goes off. There's the shot to the end zone, sailing over the receivers, but that is the end of the game. The hooter's gone, the last possession's finished, and Sheffield will take the game 9-6. Just communicating that to the players, and there we have it. That's the end of the game. So good effort from Surrey, but Sheffield were too good on the day, and they advanced to the final.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic final. We'll figure out who their opponent will be in the next game, which is Bath versus Ubu. So stick around for the next live stream on Hive Ultimate or ULTI.TV, wherever you're watching from home.
Yep, we'll see you shortly.
ULTI.TV.
So that's like marginal.